You may remember this great little courtyard. What an amazing space it is. What you didn't see, though, there was an old rose here that had sentimental value to the homeowner. But don't worry, we didn't dig it up and get rid of it. We actually moved it. And I'm about to share with you all my tips on successful transplanting. I thought we'd transplant this because I've heard it's got a bit of a story.
Yeah, it was planted when my pop passed away, so it does have some sentimental value behind it.
Yeah, it's a lovely looking one as well. I mean, fantastic white flowers on there. So we're going to try and transplant it and move it to the front garden.
Sounds great.
But the first step is to give it a really big haircut. I mean, it's summer now. We shouldn't really be moving it, but, you know, we've got to break a couple of eggs to make an omelette. So I'm just going to cut this right back, almost to twigs, but we want to make sure we keep some of the buds on the plant, so that way when it goes in, it can shoot from those buds again. We're reducing the amount of leaf because we're reducing the roots, so the combination goes together. If you're giving a rose a hard prune like this, it's a good idea to remove any dead wood whilst you're at it. And you're trying to achieve a nice open vase shape, so any crisscrossing stuff, now's the time for it to go as well. When you're transplanting a rose, it's exactly the same as if you're using a bare-rooted stock. You need your hole pre-dug. Now, mine's limited in size by the surrounding plants, so I'm going to put some soil back in and create almost a cone in the centre. Then my root ball is going to sit on top, and that's going to force my roots out in a natural habit rather than curling them around. I'll then just look at the canopy and see which way it's going to grow. I think that's quite nice, so it stays away from the path. And then I'll just pop the roots in, backfill, and give it a good drink. Giving the roots a really good soak is so important because it gets the soil around them, which promotes new root growth. I've also put some seaweed tonic in here. Now, that has no fertilizer in it. It's got no nitrogen, potassium, none of that sort of stuff, but it is a really good tonic and it will help promote root growth, which is what we need right now. Once the roots get settled in, it won't be long before we start seeing leaves and then flowers again. It's been 2 weeks and you can see that this rose is really bursting back into life, which is great news. In fact, every stem has got new leaf forming on it, which is also telling me there's plenty going on in the ground. Now, there's a couple of stems here that don't have new growth on them, so I'm just going to whip them off. That's a preventative matter because we don't want dieback to form on this rose, because that's just going to let disease into the plant. So, snip them off.